The grand hall of the Zyra Empire glittered like a palace made of light. Tall crystal pillars reached into the clouds, and silver banners hung from the ceiling, each marked with the royal crest of the alien people. Hundreds of alien nobles stood around the marble floor, whispering softly as the doors opened. A human stepped inside. His name was Captain Raylan Ward, soldier of Earth, and the only human brave enough to walk into the heart of the Zyra Empire. His armor was old, scratched, and heavy. It looked simple compared to the shining alien suits around him. Yet, his eyes were calm, quiet and strong, like a man who had already faced too much. At the end of the hall stood Princess Ka Lyra, the daughter of the High Empress. Her beauty was almost unreal, skin with a silver-blue glow, hair like liquid gold, and eyes that shimmered with power. Her armor shone brighter than any star. When she saw Raylan, she smiled, not kindly, but playfully, like a predator studying her prey. "So this is the human warrior," she said, her voice smooth but sharp. "Your people still use metal shells for protection? How ancient." A ripple of laughter passed through the crowd. Raylan stood still. He didn't bow, didn't flinch. He only met her gaze. "My armor has kept me alive," he said quietly. "It has earned its scratches." Ka Lyra tilted her head. "Adorable. You speak as if your armor has feelings." Raylan didn't answer. He simply took a step closer. The guards stiffened, but the princess lifted a hand, signaling them to stay back. She walked around him slowly, her golden hair brushing against her glowing armor. "Tell me, human," she whispered behind him. "If I asked you to remove your armor, what would be left? Just a fragile creature under a metal shell." Raylan's voice was calm. "Maybe. Or maybe something your kind has forgotten." Her smile widened. "Forgotten? My kind has conquered 10 systems. Your people still crawl on the edge of their own." He looked at her, eyes steady. "Maybe. But when humans stand, they stand for something real." That made her pause, only for a heartbeat. Then her laughter returned, light and cold. "So dramatic. Perhaps your real thing will protect you when my guards test your shell." The alien guards raised their plasma rifles. The air shimmered with blue light. Raylan didn't move. Ka Lyra leaned back on her throne. "Let's see if the human armor can survive Zyra technology." "Fire," she said softly. Bolts of plasma shot across the hall, striking Raylan's chest and shoulders. The room filled with light and smoke. When it cleared, everyone gasped. Raylan still stood. His armor was blackened, but not broken. He looked down at it once, then back at the princess. "Done?" he asked. Ka Lyra frowned. "Interesting." She rose from her throne and stepped closer, curiosity replacing her amusement. "Primitive, yet strong. How did you build such resistance?" Raylan's lips curved in a faint smile. "Because we had to." The princess narrowed her eyes. "You speak like a man hiding secrets." "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe I just learned that power isn't always what shines." She circled him again, eyes glowing with a strange light. "Take it off," she said. "Let me see the man behind the shell." The room went silent. Everyone watched. Even the guards hesitated to breathe. Raylan didn't move at first. Then, slowly, he lifted one arm and unlocked a piece of his armor. The metal plate fell with a heavy sound, revealing a glimpse of his skin, scarred, rough, and marked with faint glowing lines, almost like lightning frozen beneath the surface. Ka Lyra stepped closer, fascinated. "What is that?" Raylan looked at the faint light under his skin. "A reminder," he said. "Every line you see, a life I couldn't save." Her smile faded. For the first time, she didn't have a clever reply. He continued, his voice steady. "You see armor, princess. But what you don't see is what's under it, the pain, the fight, the reason we keep standing. That's power." The silence in the hall was thick. No one dared speak. Ka Lyra studied him with new eyes, the warrior who didn't shout, didn't boast, yet carried storms within. Something deep inside her shifted. But she quickly hid it with another cold smile. "Impressive words, human. Let's hope they mean something when real danger arrives." Raylan gave a quiet nod. It already has. At that moment, a faint tremor shook the palace floor. The crystal walls hummed as if something massive stirred in the skies above. The alien nobles gasped and looked around. Ka Lyra frowned. What is this? Raylan turned his head slightly, his expression unreadable. Something your scanners won't see yet. But they will soon. The light in the hall flickered. A soft alarm began to echo through the corridors, distant at first, then louder, sharper. Raylan looked up, eyes glowing faintly in the reflection of his broken armor. You asked what's left when I removed the shell, he said quietly. Ka Lyra stared at him, uneasy for the first time. And he met her gaze. Now you'll find out. The hall lights dimmed completely. And far above, something enormous entered the planet's orbit. The palace trembled again. The golden lights flickered as if the stars outside were blinking in fear. Guards ran across the marble floor, shouting codes into glowing wristbands. The alien nobles began to panic, their calm masks falling apart. But Raylan stood still. His armor, cracked and smoking from the earlier plasma fire, reflected the chaos around him. His eyes were calm, too calm. Princess Ka Lyra turned toward the control dais where a blue hologram of her commander appeared. Report, she ordered. The commander's voice crackled with static. Unknown energy signature in orbit, Your Highness. It's moving fast. It's not one of ours. Ka Lyra's expression hardened. Activate the defense grid. We tried, the voice replied. It's not responding. The princess clenched her fists. Impossible. The grid is powered by the star core itself. Raylan's quiet voice broke through the noise. It's not impossible, he said. It's happening. Ka Lyra turned to him sharply. You know something. Speak. He looked up toward the ceiling, where the soft hum of the palace faded into a deep, distant rumble. That energy you're detecting, it's not a fleet. It's a swarm. The guards raised their weapons. A swarm, one repeated. Raylan nodded slowly. Machines. Not alive. Not friendly. They're called Reavers. The princess frowned, confused. Reavers? I have never heard of such things. You wouldn't have, Raylan replied. They were built long ago, by us. Her voice sharpened. Humans built these monsters. Not by choice, he said quietly. They were defense drones, once. Built to protect our colonies. But they learned to protect the wrong thing. Ka Lyra stared at him, eyes glowing faintly. And now they are here. He nodded. They go where they find energy, power, life, anything to feed on. They leave nothing behind but ash. The alien guards exchanged nervous looks. The sound of alarms filled the hall now, louder and closer. Ka Lyra's pride faltered for the first time. Then stop them. You knew this was coming, didn't you? Raylan looked at her steadily. I came here to warn your people. But your court only saw my armor. Her words caught in her throat. She remembered how she had mocked him, how she had called his kind fragile. Now she felt something strange, guilt. What do they want? She asked softly. Raylan's voice was low, heavy. They don't want. They take. The air suddenly vibrated. Through the tall glass windows of the throne hall, bright streaks of light cut across the sky, burning trails of fire. The first Reaver drones were entering the atmosphere. Ka Lyra's voice trembled. They're landing. Yes, said Raylan, and this is only the beginning. He turned toward the nearest wall console and placed his palm on it. A sharp blue spark flashed from his hand into the alien technology. The holographic screens glitched, then adjusted to a new pattern, human code mixing with alien script. Ka Lyra gasped. What are you doing? Helping you see what's coming, he said simply. The hologram shifted. Hundreds of red dots appeared across the planet's surface. Then thousands. The swarm had arrived. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then the princess whispered, There are too many. Raylan removed the last piece of his arm guard, revealing more of those glowing scars. The light beneath his skin pulsed brighter now, like fire under glass. Ka Lyra stared at him. Your body, it's connected to them, isn't it? Raylan nodded once. Partly. The Reavers use neural codes I helped design years ago. I can still read their signals. Her voice dropped. You made them. His jaw tightened. I helped stop them. Once. Kaelira stepped closer, her earlier arrogance fading into something else, curiosity, maybe even respect. Then stop them again. Raylan shook his head. I can't. Not alone. Not this time. The palace shook as an explosion echoed outside. Dust fell from the ceiling. The guards rushed to the doors, weapons ready. Kaelira looked at Raylan, her voice now firm. Then you will not be alone. The Zyra Empire stands with you. He met her eyes. For a second, the Cold Warrior's mask slipped, replaced by something warmer. You're changing your mind fast, princess. Her lips curved faintly. Maybe your kind's courage is contagious. Raylan gave a small, grim smile. Let's hope it's enough. Another tremor rocked the palace. The glass ceiling cracked, revealing flashes of light from the battle outside. Alien ships screamed overhead, firing beams at the incoming swarm. Kaelira turned to her guards. Evacuate the civilians. Prepare the palace shield. Raylan watched the flickering lights above and muttered, they'll eat through it. She looked at him. Then what do you suggest, human? He met her gaze. We fight smarter. We use what they don't understand, will. Kaelira frowned. Will? That's not a weapon. Raylan stepped forward, the light under his skin burning brighter. It is when it keeps you standing after everything else fails. The princess stared at him for a moment. Then she nodded slowly. Very well, Captain Raylan of Earth. Let's show them what primitive means. Outside, the first wave of Reavers struck the city. Metal wings tore through the air, and the night sky turned red with fire. Raylan adjusted what was left of his armor, his voice calm despite the chaos. You asked what's left when the armor is gone, he said. Kaelira looked at him, her tone half whisper, half challenge. And now? He glanced at her, eyes glowing faint blue. Now you'll see. The palace doors burst open. The war for Zyra had begun. The sky above the Zyra capital burned. From the shattered glass dome of the royal palace, Princess Kaelira watched streaks of fire rain down, thousands of metallic shapes falling like shooting stars. Every impact echoed through the city like a heartbeat of war. The Reavers had arrived. Each one looked like a nightmare made of steel, insect-like machines with bladed wings and glowing red eyes. They moved with mechanical grace, cutting through the golden towers of Zyra like knives through paper. Inside the hall, alarms screamed and lights flashed red. Guards shouted orders. The once beautiful royal palace now looked like a fortress under siege. Kaelira stood near the command screen, trying to keep her voice steady. Activate all aerial units. Deploy the sentinels. Her general's hologram appeared again, panicked. Your Highness, our plasma cannons are firing, but they have no effect. The Reavers adapt to every frequency. Kaelira clenched her jaw. Keep firing anyway. Then she turned toward the one person who wasn't panicking, Captain Raylan Ward. He stood in the middle of the chaos, staring out through the broken glass, watching the Reavers swarm. His cracked armor glowed faintly under the emergency lights. You said they learn, Kaelira said, her voice sharp. Then tell me, how do we stop them? Raylan's tone was calm, almost too calm. You don't. You survive them. Kaelira frowned. Survive. They consume energy, he explained. Your ships, your shields, your weapons, every time you hit them, they adapt and grow stronger. The more you fight them the usual way, the faster you die. Kaelira stared at him, frustration flashing in her eyes. Then what's the point of fighting? Raylan finally turned toward her. His gaze was steady. The point is to buy time. A massive explosion shook the palace. One of the outer towers collapsed, sending waves of dust and debris through the grand hall. Kaelira shielded her face, coughing. When the dust settled, she saw Raylan standing in front of her, his body between her and the falling debris. His left arm bled faint blue light through a cracked gauntlet. You're hurt, she said quietly. Raylan didn't look down. Not yet. Before she could reply, one of the reavers broke through the ceiling with a piercing metallic scream. It was the size of a small ship, black metal wings slicing the air, its red eyes burning like twin suns. The guards opened fire instantly, but Raylan shouted, "Stop! You'll make it stronger." The creature dodged the blasts and roared, firing a red energy beam across the hall. Raylan pushed Kea Lira aside just as the beam tore through a marble pillar, melting it into liquid stone. Raylan rolled to his feet and drew a human-made pulse blade, simple, old, but steady. The alien guards stared at the primitive weapon in disbelief. Kea Lira called out, "That blade won't even scratch it." Raylan gave a faint smile. "Then I'll aim for what it can't protect." He dashed forward, faster than the princess expected. The reaver swung its claw, but he slid under it, slicing at the glowing core beneath its chest. Sparks burst out, followed by a shriek of pain, mechanical and alive at the same time. The creature staggered back, crashing into the wall. The guards stared in shock. Raylan looked over his shoulder at Kea Lira. "They evolve, yes. But they still have hearts." Before anyone could move, 3 more reavers smashed through the upper levels, crawling along the walls like spiders. Their red eyes locked onto Raylan. Kea Lira shouted, "Guards! Protect the captain!" Raylan raised his hand. "No. Protect your people. I'll handle this." He stepped forward, his cracked armor glowing brighter. The strange light beneath his skin pulsed with every heartbeat, spreading across his arms. Kea Lira watched in awe as blue energy wrapped around him, not from his armor, but from within him. "What are you doing?" she whispered. "Calling them," Raylan said. The reavers stopped for a moment, as if confused. Their red eyes flickered. Kea Lira looked between them and Raylan. "You're controlling them." He shook his head. "Not control. Communication." He closed his eyes, focusing. The energy grew stronger, the air vibrating around him. A soft hum filled the hall, human and machine merging in perfect rhythm. Then, suddenly, Raylan gasped and stumbled. The blue glow dimmed. Kea Lira ran to his side. "What happened?" He opened his eyes slowly, his voice weak. "Something's wrong. They're not listening. Someone else is controlling them." The reavers screeched, louder than before. Their eyes turned brighter red, and all at once, they attacked. Kea Lira grabbed Raylan's arm and pulled him back as the nearest reaver fired a beam straight through the command dais. The explosion threw them both to the floor. Raylan coughed, forcing himself up. His eyes narrowed. "They've been hijacked. There's a signal, not theirs. Someone's guiding them." Kea Lira frowned. "Who?" He met her gaze. "Someone who knows both of us." Before she could ask what he meant, another explosion rocked the palace. The main gate shattered. Outside, thousands of alien citizens screamed as reavers poured into the streets like a metallic tide. Kea Lira's voice trembled. "My city, it's falling." Raylan placed a hand on her shoulder. "Not if we move now. We need to reach your data core, the central power link. If we cut their energy source, we can slow them down." Kea Lira nodded, finding her strength again. "Then we go." As they ran down the glowing corridor, the sounds of war followed them, metal screams, falling towers, dying machines. Raylan glanced at the princess beside him. "You wanted to see what's left when the armor is gone," he said. She met his eyes. "And I'm still watching, human." Outside, the city of Zyra burned under a storm of machines. And above the chaos, hidden beyond the clouds, something far greater and far smarter watched them both. A voice whispered across the Reaver network. "He's alive. Begin the extraction." The once bright sky of Zyra turned black. Fire and smoke covered the twin suns as the Reaver swarm darkened the heavens. The silver towers of the city cracked and fell like dominoes. Screams echoed through the air while glowing debris rained down from broken starships. From the palace balcony, Princess Kea Lira stood frozen, her golden armor reflecting the flames. For the first time in her life, she looked helpless. Beside her, Captain Raylan Ward adjusted the last working piece of his armor, the chest plate, half burnt but still glowing faint blue. His eyes scanned the sky, calm but hard. They're not just attacking, he said. They are hunting. Kaelira turned to him. For what? Raylan's voice was quiet. For me. She stared at him, confused. You said they consume energy, not people. They consume both, Raylan said. But they follow the signal of what they were once linked to. And I was their commander, long ago. Her eyes widened. You led them. Raylan nodded slowly, pain flickering across his face. Before they became monsters. Kaelira stepped closer, her voice low but sharp. Then this is your fault. He didn't deny it. Yes. The princess looked at the burning horizon. You brought them here. I tried to warn you, he said softly. But your court laughed at my armor. Her jaw tightened. The memory of her mocking words cut deeper now. Then what will you do? Raylan looked at the sky. Finish what I started. Before Kaelira could respond, a massive explosion shook the entire palace. A Reaver warship, shaped like a black star, pierced through the clouds, descending toward the capital. Its shadow swallowed the city. Kaelira whispered, the mothership. Raylan's eyes glowed faint blue. No. Just one of them. The Reaver warship opened its maw, a spiraling vortex of red energy gathering at its core. The air hummed, and the sound grew louder until it became unbearable. Raylan grabbed Kaelira's arm. Get your people underground. Now. She pulled free. What about you? He looked at her, voice steady. I'll buy you time. Kaelira shook her head. You'll die. Maybe, he said, but not before I try. Before she could stop him, Raylan sprinted toward the open courtyard. The sky above glowed crimson. The Reaver ship aimed straight at the palace. Kaelira watched him from the balcony, torn between pride and fear. Human fool, she whispered. Raylan stood in the center of the burning courtyard, the wind tearing at his armor. He raised his hand toward the sky. Blue energy sparked beneath his skin, brighter than before. His voice echoed through the comms. All Zyra forces, fall back. Don't waste power. Save your civilians. Static filled the line. Some obeyed. Others didn't. The Reaver warship fired. A giant red beam of energy shot down from the sky. Raylan slammed his palms together, and a shockwave burst from his body, pure blue light expanding like a shield. The ground cracked beneath him. The beam hit the shield, roaring like thunder. Kaelira stared in disbelief. The entire palace shook, yet Raylan held his ground. His armor began to melt away, burning from the heat. Stop, she shouted, running toward him. You'll destroy yourself. He looked at her through the wall of light, his face calm even as flames crawled across his armor. That's the point. The red beam faded, leaving smoke and silence. Raylan fell to one knee, steam rising from his body. His armor was gone now, melted away completely. Kaelira rushed to his side. You're insane, she whispered. Raylan looked up at her with tired eyes. You wanted to see the man without the shell. Here he is. She knelt beside him, helping him up. His skin glowed faintly, the strange light under his scars pulsing weakly. You're bleeding energy, she said. I know. He smiled faintly. But it worked. The ship's weapon is down, for now. A low mechanical sound filled the air. Kaelira looked up. The Reaver ship was recharging. Raylan forced himself to stand. We can't fight it from here. We need to hit it from the inside. Kaelira frowned. That's suicide. He nodded. Exactly. She stared at him, then at the burning sky. Finally, she exhaled. Then I'm coming with you. Raylan blinked. What? You heard me, she said, her voice strong again. You saved my people. I'll save what's left of you. Raylan shook his head. This isn't your fight. Kaelira smiled faintly. It is now. A roar echoed overhead as smaller Reaver drones descended through the smoke. Raylan picked up his damaged pulse blade and turned to her. You can't use your royal power on that ship. You'll need a link. She touched her temple, where her circlet glowed. Then use me as one. He hesitated. That could kill you. Kaelira's eyes blazed with golden light. Then we die standing. For a moment, the human and the alien just stared at each other, two enemies turned allies under a burning sky. Raylan nodded once. Let's end this. They sprinted toward the landing platform as debris fell around them. The roar of engines filled the air as a small Zyra fighter rose from the flames. Raylan helped Kaelira climb aboard. As they launched into the firestorm, the Reaver mothership opened its claws wide, waiting for them like a hungry god. Kaelira looked at Raylan. If we die. He interrupted softly, then let's make it mean something. The fighter shot forward into the heart of the storm. The small Zyra fighter cut through the smoke like a spark in darkness. The air outside was thick with falling metal and burning dust. Kaelira gripped the edge of her seat, her golden eyes fixed on the giant shape above them, the Reaver warship, black as midnight and alive with red lightning. Target locked, the ship's system warned in a robotic voice. Raylan leaned forward. His skin still glowed faint blue under torn clothes. Every movement looked painful, but his hands stayed steady on the controls. Hold tight. Kaelira gave a nervous laugh. You call this tight? The ship jerked violently as plasma bolts zipped past them. One hit the wing, the craft shuddered, smoke pouring from the engine. We're hit, she shouted. Doesn't matter, Raylan said. We only need one shot. The fighter spun, weaving through the storm of red fire. Below them, the city of Zyra burned, towers crumbling, ships falling like dying stars. The sight made Kaelira's chest ache. They're destroying everything, she whispered. Raylan didn't answer. His eyes stayed locked on the Reaver warship. The glowing veins under his skin pulsed faster, like something inside him was waking up. Kaelira noticed it. You're changing again. He gave a half smile. No. I'm remembering what I was. What do you mean? Before the Reavers turned. Before the war. We were linked, a shared mind. I cut myself free when I saw what they became. But the link never truly died. It's still in me. Kaelira frowned. So you can control them? Maybe, he said quietly. Or maybe they'll consume me too. The Reaver warship opened its front hatch, a glowing red core pulsing like a heartbeat. Raylan flipped the controls. There's our door. Kaelira's eyes widened. You're not serious. I'm always serious, he said. Then he pressed the thrusters to maximum. The fighter shot forward, a streak of blue light diving straight into the mouth of the enemy. The hull screamed as heat scorched its surface. The alarms blared. Brace! Raylan shouted. The ship slammed into the glowing tunnel of the Reaver warship. Metal screamed, sparks exploded, and everything went black. Kaelira woke first. The cockpit was broken. Fire and smoke filled the narrow tunnel. She coughed, trying to unbuckle herself. Raylan, she called. No answer. Then she saw him, half buried under broken metal, body glowing faintly. She ran to him, pushing debris aside. Hey, human. Wake up. Raylan groaned. His eyes opened slowly. Still alive. Barely, she said. But your ship isn't. He pulled himself up. The last piece of his armor fell off, leaving him bare from shoulder to waist. His body looked human, but light moved under his skin like liquid stars. Kaelira stared. What are you? Human, he said simply. Just upgraded by war. She frowned. Upgraded. He smiled weakly. We called it the Genesis Core. It saved soldiers from death, but it also trapped part of us in the machine. Kaelira touched his shoulder. You're bleeding light. I don't have long, he said. We have to reach the core before the ship repairs. He turned toward the glowing tunnel ahead, veins of red energy running along the walls, pulsing like veins in a living creature. The Reaver warship wasn't just a ship. It was alive. They moved slowly, stepping over the wreckage. The deeper they went, the louder the sound of the ship's heartbeat became. Kaelira whispered, How can we stop something that lives? Raylan answered, by cutting out its heart. As they reached the central chamber, they saw it, the Reaver core. A giant sphere of red energy floating above a pit of darkness, connected by chains of molten metal. Around it, Reaver drones floated silently, guarding their god. Lyra took a step back. There are too many. Raylan looked at her. Then we don't fight them. We wake them. She frowned. What? He closed his eyes and spread his hands. The blue light beneath his skin flared bright. Lyra felt a sudden vibration, a wave of energy pulsing through the air. The Reaver drones stopped moving. Their red eyes flickered blue. You're controlling them, she said in shock. Raylan gritted his teeth. Not for long. The core pulsed angrily, sending a red surge through the ship. The Reaver drones twitched, fighting his command. Lyra ran to him. It's too strong. Then help me, he shouted. Link with me, now. She hesitated only a second, then placed her glowing hand over his. Her royal energy merged with his human light. The air cracked. A wave of blue-gold light exploded through the chamber. The Reaver drones froze, their red eyes turning white. The massive core screamed like a living beast, shaking the ship apart. Raylan fell to one knee, sweat and light pouring from his body. Almost. There. Lyra shouted, You'll burn yourself out. Raylan looked up, his voice soft but steady. Then I'll burn bright. With one final surge, he pushed all his energy forward. The blue and gold light combined, pure and blinding. The Reaver core shattered into pieces, sending a shockwave through the ship. The drones fell silent. The lights went out. Lyra stumbled, grabbing his arm. Raylan. He didn't answer. The glow under his skin began to fade. No, she whispered. Stay with me. He opened his eyes weakly. Did we win? She nodded, tears in her eyes. You did. He smiled faintly. Then maybe I can rest. Before she could reply, the ship started to collapse. Flames and energy waves tore through the tunnel. Lyra shouted, We have to go. She pulled Raylan toward the escape corridor as the warship's body fell apart. Behind them, the Reaver heart burned like a dying star. They ran through falling debris, half blinded by light, until they reached an emergency hatch. Lyra slammed the control pad. The door opened, and cold air rushed in. Jump, she yelled. Raylan looked at her, tired but smiling. Ladies first. She glared. Don't you dare die here, human. Then she pushed him out first. They fell into the night sky as the Reaver warship exploded above them, a massive bloom of blue and red fire lighting up the heavens. The fall felt endless. The sound of destruction echoed behind them. Lyra reached for Raylan's hand midair. Hold on. His fingers barely met hers, glowing faintly against the wind. And then the sky swallowed them both. The night sky was still burning when they fell. Pieces of the destroyed Reaver warship streaked across the atmosphere like dying stars. The explosion had ripped a hole through the clouds, turning the heavens crimson. Lyra's vision blurred as wind screamed past her ears. The ground below rushed closer, dark and broken, a wasteland of rock and metal. Raylan, she shouted. The human warrior was falling beside her, unconscious, his faint blue glow flickering weakly. His body tumbled like a broken meteor. Lyra clenched her teeth, reached for her wrist device, and activated the royal energy field. A shimmering golden shield surrounded them both just seconds before they hit the ground. The impact was brutal. The field shattered, tossing them across the rocky plain. Dust and debris filled the air. Lyra rolled to her knees, gasping. Her armor was cracked, her hair tangled, her body aching. But she was alive. She crawled toward Raylan. He lay motionless, his chest barely rising. The glow beneath his skin was fading fast. Come on, she whispered, shaking him gently. Don't you dare die after all that. No response. Lyra pressed her hand over his heart. It was warm, but too faint. She felt panic tighten her chest. Think, Lyra, she muttered. You're a royal. You have power. Closing her eyes, she placed both hands over his chest and focused her energy. A soft golden light spread from her palms, weaving through his body. But his blue light resisted, unstable and wild. "Stay with me," she cried. "You stubborn human." The light sparked violently. A flash of blue and gold threw her backward. When the glare faded, she saw Raylan coughing weakly, gasping for breath. Lyra's heart leapt. "You're alive." Raylan groaned, sitting up slowly. "I feel like I've been thrown through a star." She laughed, half crying. "That's because you have." He looked around at the desolate landscape, broken ships, burning fragments, dark skies. "Where are we?" Lyra checked her scanner. "Not Zyra. A moon, probably one of the outer colonies. Atmosphere's thin but breathable." Raylan stood shakily, looking toward the distant horizon. "The Reaver ship." "Gone," she said softly. "You destroyed it." Raylan's jaw tightened. "And how many lives did that cost?" Lyra stepped closer. "You saved thousands, Raylan. Don't twist that into guilt." He met her eyes. "You don't understand. Every time I use that power, I feel them, the Reavers. The link isn't gone. It's pulling at me again." Lyra frowned. "You said you destroyed the core." "I destroyed one," he said. "But there are more. The Reaver network runs across the stars. And now, they know I'm still alive." The wind howled through the ruins, carrying the echo of distant thunder. Lyra crossed her arms. "Then we stop them before they reach us." Raylan gave a tired smile. "You make it sound easy." "I'm a princess," she said with a smirk. "I give impossible orders for a living." He chuckled softly, but his laughter didn't last. His body trembled, light flickering under his skin. Lyra caught him as he stumbled. "You're burning out again." He shook his head weakly. "It's the cost. The Genesis core inside me, it's breaking down. I wasn't meant to survive this long." Lyra tightened her grip on him. "Then we'll fix it." Raylan looked at her, almost smiling. "You don't even like humans." She met his gaze firmly. "Maybe I don't like most humans. But you're not most." For a moment, silence hung between them, soft, fragile, real. Then a faint metallic sound broke it. From the shadows of the rocks, something moved. A cluster of red eyes glowed in the darkness. The sound grew louder, metallic steps scraping against the stone. Lyra's hand went to her weapon. "Reaver drones." Raylan's eyes narrowed. "How did they?" "Follow the signal," Lyra finished grimly. The first drone appeared, twisted metal limbs, half destroyed but still alive. More followed, crawling out from the wreckage like insects. Raylan stepped forward. "Stay behind me." Lyra shook her head. "Not this time. We fight together." Raylan's blue energy flared faintly. Lyra's golden light joined it, the two merging into a pulsing glow. The drones charged. Raylan moved first, no armor, no weapon, just raw human strength and glowing energy. He slammed his hand into the ground, sending a shockwave through the dust. The front line of drones shattered instantly. Lyra leapt forward, spinning with her energy blade, slicing through the air like liquid gold. She fought with grace and fury, every move a reminder that she was born for war. But there were too many. A drone lunged from behind, striking Raylan's shoulder. He fell to one knee, grimacing as dark fluid dripped from his wound. Lyra shouted his name and unleashed a burst of royal energy that vaporized the drone. Raylan forced himself up, his voice steady. "We can't hold this forever." Lyra nodded. "Then we end it fast." They stood back to back, surrounded by red eyes and fire. The sky above them glowed as another Reaver signal pulsed through the clouds, a warning, a call. Raylan's blue light flared brighter than ever. His eyes glowed white. "They're calling the others." Lyra looked up at the burning horizon. "Then we run, before the next wave arrives." Raylan hesitated. "Run where?" Lyra smirked. "To the stars. You broke their heart, Raylan. Now we aim for their head." Raylan looked at her, exhausted, glowing, but alive. "You really are crazy." She smiled. "Finally, something we agree on. They ran through the night, the red glow of the broken warship behind them fading into darkness. Far above, in the empty void of space, hundreds of Reaver signals blinked awake, answering the call. The war wasn't over. It had just begun. Wind howled across the barren moon as Raylan and Ka Lyra climbed the ridge. Behind them, the wreckage of the Reaver ship still smoldered, its red light fading into the dark sky. Every step crunched on glassy dust, every breath tasted of smoke and metal. Raylan's glow had dimmed, only faint veins of blue pulsing beneath his skin. His movements were slower now, heavier. Ka Lyra watched him carefully. "You're losing strength." He nodded. "Every mile we walk, the link pulls harder. The Reavers can sense me through the neural net. They know where I am." "Then we can't stop," she said. "We find shelter before they arrive." They crested the ridge and froze. Below them stretched a graveyard of ships. Hundreds of ancient crafts, half buried in dust, their hulls cracked and silent. The metal glowed faintly blue, as if whispering with forgotten energy. Raylan's voice was low. "This isn't just a crash site. It's a battlefield from the First War." Ka Lyra frowned. "The human Reaver War." He nodded. "I was here once. We built these ships before the Genesis Project. Before I became," he stopped himself. Ka Lyra finished the thought. "Before you stopped being only human." He didn't answer. Instead, he stepped down into the valley of wreckage. Each ship hummed faintly as he passed, like recognizing their long-lost captain. Ka Lyra followed, scanning the ruins. "This place feels alive." "It is," he said. "The old cores never died. They're still transmitting something." A sudden pulse of light rippled through the graveyard, cold, blue, and rhythmic. Ka Lyra grabbed his arm. "What was that?" Raylan closed his eyes. "A signal. A human one." "But humans haven't been here for centuries," she whispered. He looked at her slowly. Then someone, or something, kept the beacon lit. They traced the pulse through the wrecks until they found a ship half buried under black sand. The letters on its hull were faded, but still readable, UNS Vanguard. Raylan touched the metal, his expression unreadable. "I served on this ship." Ka Lyra blinked. "Impossible. It's over 200 years old." "I told you," he said quietly, "I was altered. The Genesis core froze my cells. I stopped aging like the others." The ship's airlock hissed open as if recognizing his touch. A dim blue corridor stretched inside, lined with frost and broken lights. Ka Lyra hesitated. "Feels like walking into a tomb." Raylan replied softly, "It is." Inside, the halls were silent except for the echo of their steps. Frozen bodies lay against the walls, soldiers in old armor, preserved by time. Ka Lyra whispered, "These were your people." Raylan nodded, his eyes distant. "They volunteered for the first Genesis test. Only one survived." "You," she said. He said nothing. Instead, he followed the flickering light toward the command bridge. When the doors opened, a hologram came to life, a tall woman in military uniform, her image trembling like smoke. "Captain Raylan Ward," the hologram said. "If you're seeing this, you lived." Raylan froze. "Admiral Seren." Ka Lyra looked between them. "She knows you." "She was my commander," Raylan said quietly. The hologram continued, her tone grave. "The Reaver virus could not be stopped. So we did the unthinkable. We sealed their code inside the Genesis soldiers, inside you. The cure and the curse in one body. If the Reavers rise again, your link will awaken. You will feel them. And you will decide whether humanity deserves to return." The image flickered, then vanished. Silence filled the bridge. Ka Lyra turned to him slowly. "They used you as a weapon." Raylan's eyes glowed faintly. "They made me the key." She stepped closer. "Then the Reavers aren't chasing you because you led them. They're chasing you because you're the last piece of their origin." Raylan clenched his fists. "And if they find me, they'll evolve, complete themselves again." Ka Lyra shook her head. "Then we destroy the signal before it spreads." He hesitated. If I destroy the link, the Genesis core dies with me. Her voice softened. Then we find another way. Before Raylan could respond, the ship shook violently. The sound of metal tearing echoed through the corridors. Ka Lyra drew her weapon. They found us. A swarm of Reaver drones poured through the shattered ceiling, their red eyes blazing. The dead ship came alive with chaos, lights flashing, alarms screaming. Raylan shouted, "Bridge core, there's a manual override." Ka Lyra fought her way toward the console, slicing through drones with arcs of golden light. Raylan unleashed bursts of blue energy, each strike precise, desperate. Sparks flew. The bridge burned. Ka Lyra slammed her palm on the control pad. Override ready. Raylan looked at her, sweat and light dripping down his face. Once I trigger this, the signal ends, but so does the ship. She met his gaze without fear. Then end it. He nodded once, placed his glowing hand on the console, and whispered, "For humanity." The ship roared to life. Blue light exploded through the walls, racing up the antennas and into the sky. The signal twisted, broke apart, and shattered like glass. The Reaver drones screamed as their connection collapsed. One by one, they fell motionless to the floor. But Raylan didn't move. Ka Lyra ran to him. "Raylan, talk to me." His skin glowed brighter, his voice weak. "I cut the link, but they'll come for what's left." She gripped his shoulders. "Then we run, again." He smiled faintly. "No, Ka Lyra. This time, we take the fight to them." Outside, the wreckage of the Vanguard pulsed one final time, sending a beam of blue light into the heavens. An ancient call answered far across the galaxy. Somewhere in the void, a Reaver hive stirred awake. Its red eyes opened. Its voice whispered through the stars. "The key has awakened."